was certainly a tear-filled exit for the Lady Vols as their season ends here in the Sweet 16. After the Lady Vols were able to tie it at 50 apiece at the end of the third quarter, they weren't able to close the gap in the fourth quarter, ending their season in Birmingham in the Sweet 16 to Texas, 67-59. Paige Dowry this time in Birmingham. When we take a look at those final 4 minutes of the game, Tennessee committed 3 turnovers, and while Texas wasn't really able to capitalize on those extra possessions, they almost didn't need to. Their lead was great enough that Tennessee wasn't showing a sign of threat that they were going to be able to tie or even take over the lead. And when I talked to Dee Spearman after the game, she kind of says that it's a lack of poise in that moment and getting sped up at the end of the game that led to so many breakdowns in the final few minutes.
We were locked in. I just feel like we just rushing too much. Like we were too like had too much adrenaline. Like we just need to calm down and just realize like we're good. Like I feel like we were trying to do a lot at one time.
Similar to the round of 32 game against Ohio State, those huddles in the game certainly were a crucial piece to Tennessee being able to maintain its pose as we saw them tie the game at 50 apiece in the final seconds of the third quarter. They dominated the second and third quarter in this game, not able to capitalize that in a single-digit effort in the fourth quarter. Part of that is because they rely on certain leaders to help lead those huddles, and oftentimes that is the experiment.
I usually tell them to calm down. Like I usually because I'm usually like to set the screen and stuff like that. So like before I go set the screen, I'm telling them calm down. Like good, like just keep going. Like we're gonna get it. It's gonna start falling. Like just keep shooting and keep going. Like and so I feel like we came together with that.
Now this team showed immense toughness and great resilience in this game. Rarely did it seem that they weren't playing with intense effort, and that's all Coach Kim Caldwell wanted out of her team. As I'm sure you remember when she said that if we go out there and we play with that same effort we saw in the first 2 rounds, she says, I'll be proud of however the season ends. And that's a sentiment she echoed after the game. But when we look to the game where we specifically saw that resiliency and that toughness, it came from Dee Spearman. She absolutely dominated this game with her effort. Of course, it ends on the losing side, so you don't see it too much, but she had 13 points, 7 rebounds, and a block in this game. She absolutely delivered on the defensive end. So much of those efforts ended in points on the other end, and where it mattered most for her was winning those one-on-one battles, especially in the post. She wanted to get wins in that battle against Taylor Jones, and she absolutely did, and she set beautiful screens for her team on offense to give them open looks. She absolutely took over this game where they needed it most, and it's great to know that she's coming back next season. And can you only imagine how much tougher she'll be with another year under her belt within this system? But again, winning those battles against Jones absolutely lit a fire under her.
It felt amazing. Like I'm like an All-American. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I know what I can do, and once I lock in, I know what it's like.
Toughness and effort was also showed at the 6:44 mark in the third quarter. That sparked a little bit of a run that helped tie the game at 50 apiece at the end of the third quarter. And it was 3 consecutive three-pointers by 3 different Lady Vols to help start that run and get the energy back in them. Part of the players who were able to contribute in that run was, of course, Tess Darby, who has contributed in so many ways. And she highlighted how that moment and how Tennessee was able to respond really highlights their toughness.
I think it goes back to this summer. We were doing human wheelbarrow races down the middle of the track. I mean, it's just something that this program is built on toughness and grit. I think you see that out there. We never take a play off, and just our style of play, we're going to be pressuring you, getting after you, and then we're just cheering each other on and playing for each other.
And one sequence that I thought was really fun and it was worth talking about in the locker room afterwards, and I'm sure maybe you guys caught it during the game when Dee Spearman's shoe came off and there was all that traffic, and Sarah Puckett somehow was able to pick it up, and then she gives it back to Z and then sprints to the other end to get a clean block on Jones. I had to ask her about that after the game.
I saw her shoe come off and I was like, and then Jewel and whoever was guarding her were like, they almost tripped over it, and so I didn't want that to happen to anyone else, and so I just ran over there and I picked it up, and so then Z was like yelling for me to give it back to her. I'm like, okay, we're in the middle of a play, and so I give it back to her, and then I saw Taylor Jones just running as fast as she could, and I was like, I would beat her in a spray anyway, so I just busted my tail and did anything I could to not foul but stop her from scoring. So Yeah. It feels great. Yeah, it felt great. I didn't want to smile until like one of my teammates like said something to me, and that was Jewel. She was the first one that said something to me after Kanaya high-fived me, and she was just like, "That's a championship type play." And so, of course, that gave me a boost of confidence to continue to do that, continue to give my teammates because they notice it, and to hear the cheers of the fans. It was just great.
Kim Caldwell said after the game that she's beyond proud of this team, and the success that the program has moving forward will be a credit to what this team and this class were able to do this season. And a pair of players who truly put it all out there, and that her final game in the orange and white will certainly test Darby and Sarah Puckett. And when I was talking to Sarah Puckett after the game, the promise that she made to herself is that she wanted to go out there and give it her all, and she absolutely did.
Played my butt off. I did everything I could to leave everything on the floor for my last game, and that's what I promised myself I was going to do.
And wearing the orange and white for the final time is a reality test Darby isn't quite ready to come to terms with.
You see I'm still wearing it. I'm not ready to take it off yet. I think I might wear it the whole trip back home. But it's been everything, especially being from the state of Tennessee. Never thought I'd be here. Got the phone call, and grateful to Coach Kelly and her coaching staff that gave me the opportunity, because without them, who knows where I would be. But just something that I'll always be able to say that, I'm a Tennessee Lady Vol, and no one will be able to take that away from me.
I have so much more on this season and reactions from this game coming up on Monday, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that, because tomorrow I'm back in Indianapolis catching Tennessee and Houston square off, and probably a rock fight in the Elite Eight. So make sure you subscribe for that, as well as we'll have so much content coming up on Tennessee basketball, the journey for Felix Okpara and the support he's had from his family. I also talked to Ruby Whitehorn's mom, so we have so much great content coming up over the next couple of weeks. You're not going to want to miss out on any of it. I'll talk to you guys later from Indianapolis.